My daughter's phone starts to ring. My daughter's phone was by my side, and the number for my husband was displayed on the screen. "Monica, your father is calling." "Could you play it on speaker?" she says. I did as I was asked and put the phone on speaker. Then I hear the voice of my husband. "Good morning, sweetie. How is she getting along? How's she doing?" "She just woke up." "She's already awake?" My husband expressed surprise. I held my breath because I didn't understand what he was saying. The story of Nora, a 45-year-old woman. I am a stay-at-home mom with a husband and a daughter. My husband and I met through a mutual friend. I was drawn to his purity at the time, and we got married. "Nola, thank you for being a housewife," he said to me. "Should we go on holiday somewhere next time?" "Thank you. Let's go to the spa." "The spa? Haven't been there in a while. Let's go. Let me show you some thanks for taking care of the house." On weekends off, the two of us would go somewhere together in this manner. Since having our daughter, we've also taken her to amusement parks and zoos. However, after 15 years of marriage, my relationship with my husband has cooled. We were considered a mature couple. Every night, I cooked dinner, but my husband usually went out to eat after work and refused to eat my cooking. "Did you go out to eat again? I'm cooking for you as well, so at least say something." "Shut up. Who do you think is providing the food for you? Don't disobey me because I'm the breadwinner in this family." My husband yells at me like this, even when I am scolding him. My husband is employed by a civil engineering and construction firm. My husband is a big man, so when he didn't like what was going on, he would get violent with me. As a result, our relationship has already cooled. This was not always the case. We were once a happy married couple, but this is how our relationship is now. If this was true, I would have divorced him right away, but I have a daughter, so I am sticking with him. My husband's behavior changed about 3 years ago. He used to be a responsible husband, but his attitude shifted abruptly. "I'm home. What's for dinner?" he'd say. "Welcome home. I'll make dinner." "What? It's not ready yet? You are completely useless. I'm going to eat somewhere." "What? It's almost done." "It's normal to have dinner ready for the head of the family when he gets home. Can't you even understand that? Anyway, I'm going out to eat." "Oh, wait!" Initially, he only complained about dinner not being ready. When he was stressed, he gradually became violent. He would cause bruises in inconspicuous places, which was not good. My husband began to change. This year marks my daughter's 3rd year of a junior high school. She has chosen her next school and stays up late studying with her friends and attending cram school to prepare for the entrance exam. My husband and I have a bad relationship, but we act like a normal couple in front of my daughter, so she doesn't know our current situation or that I have been violated. My husband smiles in front of my daughter as if he wants to show her what a good father he is. But my rebellious daughter isn't particularly interested in him. Even if she comes home late, my daughter eats dinner, and she always calls me when she goes out to dinner with friends. My daughter arrived home while my husband was taking a bath. "I'm home, and I'm hungry," she said. "Monica, welcome back. Because it's late, I made a light dinner." "Mom, you're so good. Wait, did Dad abandon dinner once more?" "Oh, I believe he ate outside today. Again? He should at least say something. Monica, you must be sick of studying all the time. No, it's okay. I'm working hard to achieve my goals. Anyway, the side dishes are going to waste. I'd have taken them to school if I could. Thank you, but don't worry about it. Are you sure? Your cooking is amazing. I wish Dad didn't eat out so frequently. She took a bath and returned to her room after finishing her meal. My daughter's going through a hard time, which is why I'm considering living life without defining my husband, because divorce is not an option for me right now. I'm getting used to my husband's cold relationship, but there's one more thing that bothers me. My husband takes our daughter to his parents' house on weekends. My in-laws' house is only a few minutes away by car. My mother-in-law is the only one who lives there now, and he and his mother are very close, so he visits often. It would be fine if it was just my husband, but he always brings Monica with him because she is at a critical juncture in her life. I was also taken to my in-laws' house in the past, but my mother-in-law always harassed me. Nola, will you go shopping for me? She'd ask. Would you mind getting me some ketchup, oil, rice, and of course something to drink? Oh, and instead of driving, ride your bike. Are you sure you can do that? She purposefully asked me to do heavy shopping and forced me to ride my bike. They intentionally harassed me by not preparing meals for me on special occasions, such as New Year's Eve and Thanksgiving. They also treated me as if I didn't exist, so I started refusing to visit my in-laws. Hey, we're going over to my mother's house again this week, my husband would say. No, your mother-in-law will harass me again, I said. What are you on about? Why don't you just do as she says? Why aren't you on my side? Oh, you're such a pain. You don't have to come anymore. As a result, my husband no longer told me he was going to his parents' house. Then he began to take our daughter. My daughter doesn't want to go, as she needs to study, but my husband forces her to. My husband is in a good mood when he returns home from his mother's house and does not hit me, but it's my daughter who worries me. When my daughter returns home from my in-laws' house, she has a gloomy expression on her face and locks herself in her room. My mother-in-law is very protective of my daughter, and I'm sure she hasn't treated her as badly as me. My daughter emerged from her room after my husband had gone to bed. Her face was flushed and she appeared to be crying. Hey, Mom, she said. Is there something wrong? Nothing. I'm going to bed because I have school tomorrow. Are you sure? Okay, good night. My daughter appeared to want to talk, but I didn't want to make her talk, so I had no idea why she was crying. My husband attempted to take my daughter to his mother's house again one weekend. Hey, we're going again today, he said. I'm going, Mom. My daughter soon began going to my in-laws' house without complaining. She was going to return later that day, so I went to the supermarket to get ingredients for dinner. What am I going to cook today? A beef steak would be nutritious. My husband took the car, so I took the bus to the store. I got a severe headache while waiting at the bus stop. Another headache? It's really bad today. I'd been suffering from headaches for 3 weeks. I'd been coping by taking painkillers, but this time The headache was worse than ever. What is this pain? It's agony. I fell to the floor. I was in a hospital room when I woke up a few hours later. A passerby had apparently called an ambulance and taken me to the hospital. The doctor informed me that the cause of my headache was unknown and that I needed to stay in the hospital for tests. My daughter came in after the doctor left the room. She exclaimed, "Mom, are you all right? Got a call from the hospital and rushed here." "Sorry for making you worry. Is your father here too?" "Of course he's not here. I came by myself." "Okay, it looks like I'll be in the hospital for a while." "The doctor told me earlier. I'm sure you're just tired, so rest up." "Thank you very much." My husband was unconcerned about my condition and did not come to the hospital or contact me. Even at a time like this, he never came. My daughter brought me a piece of fruit as I was thinking this. "I got permission, so I brought you some fruits. We can eat it together, and you might feel better." "All right, thank you." My daughter began to place the fruits on a plate. My daughter's cell phone rang at that precise moment. Her phone was by my side with my husband's number displayed on the screen. "Monica, it's Dad calling." "I can't take the call right now. Could you please switch it to speaker?" I did as I was asked and put the phone on speaker. Then I hear the voice of my husband. "Good morning, sweetie. How is she getting along? How's she doing?" "She has just woken up." "She's already awake?" My husband expressed surprise. I held my breath because I didn't understand what he was saying. My daughter, possibly sensing something, took something from her bag. "Hey, isn't it bizarre? I can't believe she's already awake." "What happened to your wife, Hamish?" From afar, I heard my mother-in-law's voice. "She's already awake. Isn't that strange? I used more than usual amount." More than usual? I wondered. "You made sure you mix a dog medicine for your wife." "Yes, I started with a small amount, so you couldn't tell, but I put more than usual this time, and it didn't work." "What? Canine medicine?" I looked it up and found that it has a bad effect on the human body, but I guess that's not enough, is it? "I got some sleeping pills from the psychiatrist last time, so I'll just mix it in with them this time." "That sounds good to me." What are these people discussing? If this plan works, we might be able to receive her insurance. That wife needs to go. Isn't that a good strategy? The rest of the plan is also going well. The rest of the plan? They keep talking obviously to the fact that I can hear them. "I'll be remarried in no time once she is gone. Monica will be my next target to relieve my stress." When you said you were going to take her child, I was against it, but now that I think about it, I need another outlet for my stress too. "Well, she'll be fine. I've properly trained her." She was a bit of a rebel when she first arrived, but now she's under our control. "Monica, don't tell her about this. You know what will happen if you do. If her condition suddenly worsens, please contact me right away. See you." I was stunned after hearing the phone disconnect. Next to me, my daughter put away what she had just taken out. "I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Mom," she said. "I'll tell you everything now." So, my daughter explained everything that had happened. My husband had an affair with another woman for over 3 years. His mother-in-law was aware of it, and when my husband visited his mother, he took her with him. Taking my daughter to his mother's house was to let my husband gain custody of her, but also to discipline her to make her an outlet for his violence after I left. My daughter had several bruises when she removed her clothes. She claimed that my husband, his mother, and the other woman neglected my daughter and gossiped about me. My daughter initially rebelled, but my husband threatened her with violence if she continued to rebel. My daughter put up with it, endured it in order to protect me, and she kept it a secret from me. Then, while at the in-laws as usual, she overheard that my husband was planning to kill me. My husband intended to start by mixing a small amount of heart medicine for dogs with rice and gradually increasing the amount once I became used to the taste. When my daughter learned about this, she conducted her own investigation in order to obtain proof. When they got the call that I was sick, my husband was overjoyed and told my daughter to go check on me. So my daughter purposefully put the call on speaker so that I could hear. As soon as the conversation began, she took a recording device from her bag and began recording it. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, Mom," she said. "I know it's shocking to learn what he did, but this way we can get a divorce and you can get custody, right? I've been keeping a secret from you. He used to beat me up when you weren't here. I'm sorry for not informing you." "I guess it's both of our faults then. We must now fight back." "If they are arrested, people might call you a daughter of a criminal. Are you all right with that?" "I'll be just fine. I have proof of the violence and am aware of it because I discussed it with a friend, and I'm going to take my mother's maiden name instead of his." "I didn't know you thought this through that much. Let's fight back." So I contacted my lawyer and the police. I told the arriving cops, lawyer, and doctor what had happened. The police discovered heart medication for dogs as well as many internet purchase records at the in-laws. As a result, my mother-in-law, my husband, and the adulterer were arrested for attempted murder. My husband had taken out a large life insurance policy on me and planned to have a good time after the divorce, according to their subsequent statements. They also intended to take custody of our daughter not only to relieve their stress, but also to force her to do housework. He also didn't want to pay child support if we divorced, so he was attempting to gain custody. When I heard the entire story from the cops, I was outraged at how ridiculously my husband's plan was. It is never acceptable to kill, and the mother-in-law and adulterer who agreed to it were insane. My daughter had become the daughter of a criminal, but she didn't seem to mind. My husband and I divorced right away, and my daughter and I changed our surname to my maiden name. We considered changing schools, but my daughter explained the incident to school officials and her classmates. She stressed that her father was the bad guy, so she was not bullied. Her preparation for the entrance exams was successful, and she passed the exam for the nursing school she hoped to attend. Because the nursing school was close to my parents' house, We decided to move in with them after my daughter graduated from high school. When my husband is released from prison, I will file a compensation claim with my lawyer. I was able to leave the hospital a few weeks later feeling much better. I now work from home writing essays and novels on my blog. Perhaps I am clearing up the past by writing essays about how my husband and mother-in-law have treated me, even though I have flashbacks to the trauma of what my husband did to me. My life at home with my daughter without being afraid is very peaceful, and I enjoy it every day. I am confident that the memories of the past will fade gradually over the course of my happy days, and that one day I'll be able to forget them and begin my life anew.